Better? There we go. Now we're here. Sorry, my microphone wasn't plugged in. So, as I was saying, we get a lot of hate here on our videos of us playing Ultimate X because a lot of people don't realize that you need to change your strategy to get the full payback percentage on Ultimate X. And so, I'm sick of all these comments, so I'm going to go over it today. And we're going to be using the pro training on videopoker.com. And we have a new offer on videopoker.com where if you sign up, you get 500 free hands of the pro training. So you can do 500 hands of Ultimate X. So we're going to hop right into this as soon as I am done sharing these streams here on all of my social media. Okay, so now we're here, baby. Tony Quest, what's up, man? Okay, so now that we're ready, we're going to start off on Double Double bonus. And I'm in, so if you go to videopoker.com, once you sign up for your account using that videopoker.com/gents, if you come up here to pro training, it'll ask you to enable your 500 free hands. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come to new session. You're going to start a game, scroll all the way to the bottom, go to Ultimate X. We're going to play template because it's more exciting. And then I don't believe you can see this drop-down menu. No, you can't. But they have a bunch of different options. You can play bonus poker deluxe, Deuces Wild bonus, double double bonus, jacks are better, joker poker, or triple double bonus. So we're going to start off on double double bonus, and then you can even pick your pay tables. I'm going to pick 9-5, which has a 99.5% payback, because this is the game that they have at the Hard Rock that we like to play. It is our nemesis. We very rarely do well on it. I think our winning sessions are few and far between. So we're going to start out here, and the way this differs from the gold training is the gold training, it just gives you a stoplight, and it's red light means you played it wrong, green light means you played it right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at this, and I was doing this today because I know my strategy has been slacking because I haven't been playing a lot of regular Ultimate X. So I wanted to refresh myself, and I figured that I would bring you all along for the ride. So let's see here. First hand, I'm wrong. Okay, so what it does here is, hang on, my mouse is stuck. It tells you the first, what is this? 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 best hands. So, but I mean, if you look, this is the EV, which is your expected value. And if you break down the EV details, you can go here. So the way it works is the top number here, that is your expected EV. That is your actual EV on the current hand. And then the bottom number, this plus number, is your expected EV on multipliers that you can get. So then you look here, you see the Jack King, which it says to keep. You have a 22 current EV and then plus 24 on the next, the upcoming EV. Whereas the 3-card flush, it says your EV is only worth 18.8 on that hand. However, it's adding 27 up there because if you are to get this flush, you get a 10 times multiplier. So that's what a lot of people don't realize, and that's based on your average current multiplier. So, because in Ultimate X, you can see here, you get multipliers on your next hand for your current winning hands. Adam, what's going on? So, dynamic replay. Let me shut this off. I don't like having that on. So here, with that many multipliers, I'm going to say it's the ace. See? Oh, wow. It's not on double-double, Jack King. So, see? This is why I wanted to learn, because I know my double-double strategy is not as good as it should be. And again, it shows your EV here on the side. And you got to remember, I call it going fishing, because you know I love my fishing. So I like to say I'm fishing for multipliers. And if you're not familiar with Ultimate X, I believe this is the most popular video poker game in all casinos. So on double-double bonus, this is our pay table on the top. And these are the multipliers that you will get on the next hand for what winning hands you get on your current hand. So if you get a jacks or better, you're getting a 2x on your next hand. All the way up to an 8x for the straight, 10x for the flush, 12x for the full house. And then after that, it's a bit of a bell curve here. It goes back down on the better hands. So really, the full house and the flush are what you want to try and get there with that. And then you can, there's a lot of stuff you can do here. Well, that's an easy one. Black Dragon, what's going on, my man? And if you're on Facebook, I see there's a few people watching on Facebook. Chime in here. Okay, well, that's what you want to get dealt. So we got all these multipliers. So now let's see a fourth deuce here. Wow, that's what happens in the casino, too. Look at that. And then so we can go here. We'll look at break down the EV details here. So you see it says 885 here. Plus 169 in expected EV on your future multipliers because, you know, a lot of that's that 4x from that 3 of a kind. And interestingly enough, holding the kicker barely increases your chance of getting a full house. That's interesting. Or barely increases the EV from a full house. And I just picked double bonus. If there's a different game y'all want me to play, let me know. I can do any of those games I listed. Triple double bonus, jacks or better, Deuces Wild, Joker poker, regular bonus poker. Can't remember if I said that. So now I know in regular double bonus, the strategy is to hold just the ace. And I know in some cases you hold the queen with it with lower. So the lower your average multiplier is, the more likely you are to deviate from basic strategy. Because like I said, you got to go fishing for those multipliers. So I'm curious. I think with, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4Xs. I think it's going to be just the ace. No, they don't have any Ultimate X Gold on here, Black Dragon, unfortunately. And I thought I would try and appeal to the masses by making a how-to video on Ultimate X, regular. I wish they had bonus streak. Because we did have Paxor and Mr. Brain made that for us. Now, here's another interesting one. Normal strategy here is keeping the 7s, but you do have an open-ended straight. And if you get that straight, you get some 8Xs. So I have wondered about this one. And there you go. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why. So look at the difference here. Look at your difference. Your EV, your expected value is 122 credits. So that includes your multipliers on the next hand, because if you fill in the straight, you're getting that 8x multiplier, like I said. The EV on your 7s is only 107. So let's look at the breakdown here. So if you look, the EV on the current hand is higher for the 7s. So in regular video poker, as I said, the 7s is the correct strategy, 69.6. versus 64.8 coins. However, if you look at the extra boost on the future multipliers, it's adding 57.9, so almost 58 credits from those possible 8x multipliers, and it's only adding 37. So if you're playing quarters, that's a $5 mistake. Well, it's adding $5 in EV there. That's a $15 mistake there. So. But again, that is not always going to happen. You're not always going to get those straights, but you should get some. Now here, I definitely think it's both of them because we only have the one 8x multiplier. Oh, I didn't even see the inside straight there. So it works because here I'll break it down for you. So the way this works is it says 17x. That was our average. Well, those were our total multipliers. So our average multiplier there would have been 1.7. So if you look, keeping the ace king, it adds this EV the way it takes into account, does it show here? Combination of expected value of all possible win types, including your current multipliers, plus an additional multiplier expected value from the multipliers earned towards your next hand. This chart shows the amount that each possible win contributes to the total EV. So it doesn't break it down, but they know mathematically what your chances are of drawing to each hand. So they're going to take an average of that, of all the hands that you can earn, and then factor in all these multipliers. Because if you look, no win, of course, you have a 1 times multiplier. That means no multiplier. Jacks are better is 2x. 2 pair gives you the 3x. 3 of a kind gives you a 4x. Straight gives you the 8x. Flush is 10. Full house 12. Quad 5s through kings is 3. And then everything else is a 4x multiplier. So they take all that into account. Somebody much, much smarter than I did the math on that. So does that mean you're always going for open-ended instead of a non-winning pair? So here's another cool feature that you can do with this pro training. So let's figure it out. So we'll pick our cards. What was this dealt? It was a pair of 7s, I think it was. It was a pair of 7s, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to put in a 9. But let's crank it all the way up to 120 multipliers, the highest it could possibly go. Very extreme example here. So we're going to do it here. So with 12x multipliers across the board, I would assume it's going to change here. Yeah. So here, we'll do the most extreme example possible. So with all 12x multipliers, you can see the pair holding the pair of 7s is worth 11 credits more. 11 and a half credits more or less, than keeping the inside straight. So now let's do that exact same example. It was a pair of 7s and then 8, 9, 10. So pair of 7s and then, whoa, 8, 9. We're going to do, and then 10. So this is extreme example here. So we know it's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10. So look at that. It's almost, what is that? Almost 20 coin difference, 17 coin difference there. From keeping the pair of 7s there is only worth 74 credits, whereas keeping the 4 to the straight is worth 91 credits there in expected value, because those 8x, I mean, look how many of those 8x multipliers we got. We just went from an average multiplier of 1 to, let's see what our average multiplier is. You add them all up, so that's 8 and 8, 16. That's 17, that's 25, that's 33, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 8 is 52. So we just went from an average multiplier of 1.0 to an average multiplier of 5.2. Yes, so in triple double, yes. So, okay, so here, I'll answer your question here in a second, Tracy. So with that many multipliers, I don't think we're going 3 to the flush. So one interesting change here is, so let's see, if you have no multipliers on the screen, you got 2 pair of aces, a pair of 10s, and a 5. You don't keep kickers in double-double bonus, Tracy. So we'll see here. So you're going to deal it here. And now, in normal double-double bonus strategy would be to keep just the pair of aces and then go for the quad aces. However, if you look at the pay table here, if you were to keep just the aces, you're only guaranteed a 2x multiplier on everything. If you keep the 2 pair, you're guaranteed a 3x multiplier minimum, and you have a much better chance of getting the 12x. So regular double-double bonus strategy is to keep the aces. If you were to do that in Ultimate X, look at that difference there. 170 credits versus 218 credit EV. That's almost a 50 credit difference. So if you're playing quarters, if you're playing quarter 10 play, double-double bonus, Ultimate X, and you're only keeping your pair of aces instead of the 2 pair here, that's costing you $12.50 in EV every time you don't hold both pairs here. So, and because even if you strike out like this and you don't get any of those full houses, you're still getting a 3 times multiplier. I keep going up there and hitting the Keno button. You're still getting a 3x multiplier on everything, even if you don't improve, whereas if you keep just the aces, you're only getting a 2x multiplier. But yeah, so if we look at the pay table here, Tracy, so, golly, I keep doing that. So we're going to look up here. That's the 5 credit bet. So this is the double-double bonus pay table. If we went to triple-double bonus, the difference is 3 of a kind would drop from 15 credits down to 10 credits. Okay. And then everything else would be the same until you get up here to the kickers. So if you get up to here, quad 2s, 3s, or 4s with an ace 2, 3, or 4 kicker, it pays 800 in double-double. In triple-double, this jumps from 800 to 2,000. And then the 4 aces with a 2, 3, or 4 kicker it pays, of course, as you can see, 2,000 here in double-double bonus. It doubles to 4,000. It pays the same as a royal. So in all video poker, they give you more payoffs at the top. They got to take it away somewhere at the bottom. Just like in this game, double-double bonus, in order to give you all these bonus payoffs on the 4 of a kinds up here, they short you on the 2 pair. On jacks or better, 2 pair pays double. And on bonus poker, 2 pair pays 10 credits instead of 5. But the 4 of a kinds pay a lot less. So let's go here. We'll play some more hands. So I'll show you another interesting hand that I just thought of. Wow, it's giving us the same example again. Play Better Slots, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Slots. Video poker education at its finest. Hope you and your dad are doing well. Yes, Bergie, thank you very much. We are doing well. We were doing a lot better before we filmed today, though. We took a beating filming today. So here, so this time it gave us that example again. We got the full house. So now look at this. What can we do with this dealt multiplier? Okay, wow, that never happens. Dealt winning hand. So as you can see, look at that. We only improved on 1 hand there, but with all those multipliers, we got a triple up. So that's why those multipliers are so important. Because, you know, you're betting 10 credits. You're doubling your bet to get this Ultimate X feature involved, right? You know, if you don't have any multipliers, it's very, very hard to get your money back. Because, you know, the jump from 5 credits to 10 credits to activate that feature, if you're not getting multipliers, your money is just goes straight out the door. So so now let's see. So we did the aces and 10s. That was with no multipliers, right? So as I said, the lower your average multiplier, the more likely you are to deviate. So we'll do the aces and 10s again here. So we'll do this with no multipliers, right? Golly, that's bothering me. So we'll do, and then we'll gradually bump our way up in multipliers and watch how it changes. So you see that's, what is that, 30 and 18? Yeah, so it's 48. Yeah, so it's 50 credit difference there at average multiplier of 10. So then I'm just going to let it ride with these multipliers. So if you don't change some of the multipliers, if you don't change this, it's going to give you whatever multipliers are on the screen. So you see it's a 50 credit difference with an average multiplier of 1. Oh, I didn't realize we actually got a full house here. So what is our average multiplier here? 3 times 9 is 27, and then 12 would be 39. So 3.9 is our average multiplier here. So let's see what the difference is here. It might tell us to keep just the aces here. I don't remember when the break-even point is. So look, even here, it said to keep, what is that now? 46, 56, and 6. So that was only a 16 credit difference. So as you can see, so now we've got 2 full houses coming out. So let's try it again. So we're going to go ace, ace, 10, 10, 4, as always. And then, so what do we have? We have 8 times 3 is 24 and 24. So now we're at a 4.8 average multiplier. So now I have a creeping suspicion at 4.8. I think it's going to be just the aces, but let's see, because I honestly don't remember. No, so look at that. So even with this huge screen of multipliers, it says still to keep both 2 pairs. But now, I mean, mind you, we're only at a 5.3% difference in EV here. So as you see, the higher our average multiplier goes, the shorter the gap between those hands gets. So what did we just say? That was 48. So, whoa. Let's pick our cards again. Ace, ace, 10, 10. 48 was our sum of the multipliers. So let's go to 55. Okay, so let's try this again. Ace, ace, 10, 10. I think here... Yeah, so I'm getting to the full house. I'm getting to the full house example after we make it all the way through this two pair example. So, look at that. Now it's swung. So when we jump from 48 to 55 here, before it was, what did I say it was? 5.3 credit difference with the two pair winning. Now it's a almost 3 credit difference with the aces have now pulled ahead at 55. So there you go. So then now, as Black Dragon just said, let's see. So we're going to do some of our multipliers at 10. We'll do the same thing here. We'll start there. What did he say? Aces full of jacks. So, again, correct double-double bonus strategy, if you're not playing Ultimate X, is to just keep the 3 aces here and go for the 4 aces. But remember, in Ultimate X, if you get a full house, you get a 12 times multiplier. So keeping this is huge. So look at that difference there. It's almost 200 credits. It's 181 credit difference there. So what is that? That's 40. That's that's a $45 mistake there. If you're playing regular double-double bonus strategy in Ultimate X, $45 on quarters. So let's see. So that was at 10. That was with no multipliers. So then let's try this again. Aces, 3 aces with 2 jacks. We'll bump the multipliers up to 20 now and see how it changes. So 20, of course, is a 2x on everything. So, you know, you see this full screen of 2x's. Look, boom, it jumped. It changed right there. So all you needed was a screen of 2x multipliers, which looks decent, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that powerful of a screen in Ultimate X. Hey, look at that. We did it. Woo, woo, look at us go. So that's a 4.5 credit difference. So let's see. So if it changed from 10 to 20, let's put it at 15 and see where it changes here. So this is 5 of the hands have a 2x, because that's how you this is how you calculate your multipliers in Ultimate X. This is what threw me off for the longest time, is when you're counting your multipliers. I always used to just do it. I would say, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I would be like, oh, my average multiplier here is 10. But it's not. It's 15, because all the blank hands you have to count as 1, because, of course, no multiplier is a 1x multiplier. So yes. So yeah, I'll show you, Tracy. You could get a $12,000 royal flush in this playing quarters. So at 15, let's see. I have no idea. So look at 15 again. It's a 75 credit difference. No, 80, almost 85. Wait, so that would be 60 or 80. It's 98 credit difference. Is it? 11, 80. Yeah, no. Yeah. 88, excuse me. Been a long day. 88 credit difference there. So you see we got a full screen of 12x's here. So just for you, Tracy, full screen of 12x's. Boom. Oh, sorry, $120,000. That's a big difference there. So that would be a $120,000 royal flush. If you were dealt a full house and then you were dealt a royal flush on the very next hand, the odds of that happening, not very good. One would even say improbable. Not impossible, highly improbable, not impossible. But so 4,000 credits on quarters is $1,000. So a royal flush with no multipliers is $1,000. With a 12x multiplier, that's $12,000 times 10 hands is $120,000. Yeah, let's see. What was the EV there? I can't even read it. That number's so big. 480,146. So as you can see, of course, keeping the royal flush with a 12, keeping the dealt royal flush with a 12 times multiplier, the EV is 480,000 credits, which is just absurd to hear. And then you're getting 146 in expected EV on the next hand because you're getting that 4x multiplier everywhere. That's crazy. Look at that difference in EV. 480,000 versus 1,500. And that is because if you're throwing away the ace of diamonds, you have no chance at getting the royal flush. All you can get is the straight flush. So that's why there's that huge, huge, huge difference there. So now let's, Tracy was asking for triple double bonus. So let's do that. We're going to edit game settings. We're going to go to triple double bonus, 9-6 triple double bonus. Oh, look at that. We got $122,000 in our player account here. And if you're not familiar with videopoker.com, it is not a gambling website. It's not an online casino. It's not anything like that. Videopoker.com is owned by a company called, they used to be called Action Gaming. I believe they've changed their name to videopoker.com. They invent a vast majority of these new video poker games that you see out. Like they've got Power Stacks is them, Major Multipliers is them, Ultimate X Bonus Streak, Ultimate X Gold. They got a new game coming out called Slammin' Multipliers. Really, the only games that are not them are Hot Roll, Super Hot Roll, and then there's that one machine that we play at the Hard Rock. It's got Hot Roll. It's got that game with the 2 wheels, double super wheel bonus or something. It's got Bonus Wild. It's got Split Card. Those are all made by another company called King Show. But videopoker.com makes a majority of the video poker games, and then they license them out to IGT, who puts them into the cabinets, gets them approved by all the regulating bodies, and puts them into casinos. So this here is, you can play for free on here. You can get a free membership, but you have to see ads. Or I think the ad-free membership is like a few bucks a month. Or you can get up to the gold membership, which I think is $10 a month. And then the pro membership, this one is like 15 or 20 bucks a month. But I think it's 100% worth it. Because, you know, just this alone, you know, you do this Ultimate X pro training, and you realize that holding 3 aces with your Delta full house on Ultimate X, following that strategy is costing you $45 every time you do it. So, you know, you just figured that out. That pays for 3 months of itself right there, doing it one time. So now we're on triple double bonus. So here, I'm very curious to see how this is going to go, because I have not played triple double bonus regular Ultimate X. I don't think ever. I play a lot of Ultimate X bonus streak. I'm going to go 7, 8, 9 jack, I think. And as you can see, Tracy, we go to up to 5 credits here. You can see, as we saw, this paid 15 credits before. It's now down to 10. This one, quad 2s, 3s, or 4s with the kicker, paid 800 before. It's up to 2,000 now. And 4 aces with the kicker is up to 4,000 as well. Oh, come on. So look at that right off the bat. That's why that dynamic replay got me. 3 to the flush, I guess, is very powerful in this game because of that 3 of a kind paying so much less. Where are we at? Dynamic replay off. So the game for Deuces Wild, the peak hand, the 12x multiplier becomes the straight flush instead of the full house on a game with no multipliers. Because, you know, full houses with multipliers, it's much easier to get some of those lower hands, so they had to bump it up to a higher hand to keep... I just shut dynamic replay off. Maybe I needed to play another hand. I'm going to say 3 to the flush here. No. Okay. Look at me getting stumped here. I'm glad I'm playing this. Or did I miss a question from Tracy? No, you get a multiplier on all hands. Oh yeah, the difference between hot roll and super hot roll is on hot roll, you can get the dice on the deal or the draw. And it doesn't matter if you get them on the deal or the draw. It's on every hand, that multiplier. But you only get it for one hand. On super hot roll, you can still get the dice on the deal or the draw. However, you only get them on every single hand if it's on the deal. If it's on the draw, you only get the multiplier on that one singular hand. However, the multiplier stays for 2 hands. So, and no, it's a regular wild straight flush. So with this few amount of multipliers, I'm going 3 to the flush here. Yeah, there we go. Pair jacks. Which, man, I'll tell you what, super hot roll, getting that multiplier on the first deal, on the deal, it's so excited because you know you're getting that multiplier for 2 whole hands there. So what are the only possible thing I could see, the only possible thing you have here is the 3, 4, 5, 3 card straight. I don't think you're going to go for that, no. But look how close that was. Wow. Consider a 3, 4, 5 is garbage, and it's still only 2.5 or 2.7 credits away from the holding nothing. So I'll just play this for a few more minutes here, naturally, see what shows up organically, and then I'll start picking. We'll do all the same examples that we did in the last game with the 2 pair and the full house, and we'll see here how everything changes. So we only have one 2x multiplier here. So this is the worst possible multiplier you could have other than nothing. We do have 3 to the flush. But you also have 2 high cards. And I believe in double-double bonus, you're always going to go the 2 high cards. But I feel since this is triple-double bonus, and the 3 of a kind pays less than a double-double, I think it might... My gut's telling me this. Yes. Look at that. Didn't help. Now, keep in mind, you see this EV is 50, right? We're betting 100 credits. So, keeping this, everybody tells us when they see us playing triple-double bonus on Ultimate X bonus streak, which, mind you, the multipliers are a little different there. But even in double-double, any Ultimate X, people call us absolute morons for keeping a 3-card flush. They're like, what are you keeping a 3-card flush for? You lose so much. Look at the EV. The EV is only 50 credits. It is a losing proposition, you know, but it's still 2 credits better, you know. I'm saving 50 cents every time I keep that 3 to the flush over the 2 high cards there in triple-double bonus. You know, that might not sound like a lot, but when you play as often as my dad and I do, that 50 cents adds up a lot. Very, very quickly. And, you know, I find that very interesting. Just keep an eye on that EV. It's got to be over 100 for it to be a winning proposition, you know. So, a lot of these hands are losers in the long run. Look at that. That's only 52 credits. You know, so keep that in mind. That's why you see us having these wild swings. Oh, I forgot. 10 Jack Queen is actually the proper strategy in triple-double bonus. So this is one reason why my dad hates this game. The swings can be crazy because There's finally. That's going to... I don't even know if this is going to be a winning proposition. Okay, it was. I forgot because it takes the multiplier in. Yeah, I'll get to Deuces Wild in a second here, Tracy. We'll go through these examples here. So let's go through the same examples again. Well, we did two pair. What was it? Aces and tens, I think, with a 4 kicker. I'm going to pick a different fifth card, though, right? Because the 4 is, since this is triple-double. Well, no, sorry. I was in double-double, and kickers matter there. So let's see. So with no multipliers, you know, triple-double bonus. Definitely normal strategy is to keep just the aces if you're not on Ultimate X. On Ultimate X, again, same thing. If you look at these pay tables, if you keep just the aces, you're only guaranteed a 2x multiplier on everything. It's very possible you could not improve anywhere. You keep both two pairs, you're guaranteed a 3x everywhere, minimum, without improving, and all you need is one more card to improve to that full house to get the 12x multiplier there. So, let's see. So look at that difference there. 177.6 versus 221. So that's 44 credits or something like that difference there. So there's that. And then let's see, on this one it was, what was it, 40? It was somewhere between 48 and 55. So let's do it again. Ace, ace, 10, 10, 4. And what did we get here? We just had one. Oh, God, that's driving me insane. 9 times 3 is 27, 37. So again, we're at 39. So this is 3.9 average multiplier. So let's see. Remember, it was between 48 and 55 in double-double where it swung. It changed. Let's see what it is in this one. Look at this. Look how much lower it changed. So this is at 39. It's already, what is that? 14 coin difference. 13.3 difference. So look at that. Is a big difference there between double-double and triple-double. That is a much lower threshold because those 4 aces with the kicker can be worth so much more. So there's that one. And then now we'll do pick cards. We'll do 2 different examples for the full house here. So ace, 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 jack, jack. So again, regular triple-double bonus strategy, if you're not playing Ultimate X, is to just keep the 3 aces and go for the 4 aces. I am 99% sure with no multipliers it is going to tell us to keep the full house. Yes, because you're guaranteed that 12x multiplier on everything. But look how close this one is. Even with absolutely no multipliers, it's only a 14.6 coin difference there. So that's crazy. So I would think even if it bumps to like 15, I would think it's probably going to swing into the favor of just the 3 aces. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just the difference in 5 credits there. It's now a 5 credit difference, or excuse me, yeah, 5 multiplier difference. So we went from an average multiplier of 10 to 1 to an average multiplier of 1.5. And it is now 167 coin difference. Look at that. That's crazy. Hi, Susie. Sorry, this was kind of last minute. I just scheduled this last night because I was realizing that my memory was slipping on my Ultimate X strategy, so I needed to touch up on it myself. So now we're going to do this same one, right? And we're going to do 3 aces, and we're going to do 2 4s as the other cards. Because, you know, 3 aces with a kicker is what Tracy was saying earlier. You got to keep the kicker. So here, proper triple-double bonus strategy, if you're not playing Ultimate X, would be to hold the 3 aces with the kicker. But again, I'm curious as to whether or not, with how close it was before, it might tell us to just keep the kicker here. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. Okay. I would not have expected that. Had I not done this training, I would be playing this hand 100% wrong. So look at this. So keeping the full house, let's break down the EV details here. Keeping the full house, right? The expected value on the hand itself, 450 credits. But look at that expected value on the back end on those 12x multipliers. 547 credits, more or less. That is over $125. That's $135 difference. In $135 of that EV is from the multipliers on the next hand. If you look up here at the 3 aces with just the kicker, it's only adding 163 credits on the back end, but the EV up front for just the 3 aces with the kicker is worth 963 credits, because if you pull that 4th ace with the kicker, it pays the same as a royal, 4,000 credits. So let's see if we can't get one, huh? Yeah, that's what usually happens. So even I was shocked there. Yes, it is triple double. I was expecting it to be different. I was not expecting it to be that different, though. So now we'll go to Tracy. Our friend Tracy has asked for Deuces Wild. I'm going to play Deuces Wild bonus, Tracy, just because I prefer that better. They only have one version. It's a 99.4% game. So let's see. So if you look at the pays here, Tracy, the multipliers down here, if you're betting 10 coins, you get these multipliers. So look, it's 2x for the bottom three. So on Deuces Wild, instead of jacks or better being the bottom hand on the pay table, it's 3 of a kind. So 3 of a kind is the bottom hand with the 2x multiplier. And then it goes up to 3x for the straight, 4x for the flush, 6 for the full house, 7 for the 4 of a kind, and then it jumps to 12x for the straight flush. And because I said that, Tracy, it becomes, with 4 wild cards in the deck, it becomes much easier to hit. So if you got a 12x multiplier in the full house, that would drive the payback on this game through the roof, well over 100%. So that's why they had to bump that 12x up to the straight flush. Yeah, I used to, when I learned playing video poker, the first 3 games I learned jacks or better, and then I learned bonus poker, and then I learned Illinois Deuces Wild, which I played a lot. Every time I used to go to Vegas with my dad right after I turned 21, we would stay at Sam's Town and play. They had Illinois Deuces Wild on a triple play machine with progressives on all 3 of the hands for royal flushes. I played hundreds of hours on that game probably. But now that I've discovered Deuces Wild bonus, I can't play regular Deuces Wild anymore. It's way too boring for me. I mean, if you find a good Deuces Wild game, don't get me wrong. I found a Deuces Wild game in Cripple Creek, Colorado when I was there with my ex-wife. God, 7-8 years ago now. We were just on a vacation seeing Colorado, and there was a game, Deuces Wild game at the bar. It was Not So Ugly Deuces single line. They had a progressive for the royal flush and a progressive for the 4 aces. And it went from 10 cent all the way up to $5 denomination. And that was the best. Wow. Okay, I'm stumped already on Deuces Wild bonus. Something's not, I feel that's not right. But that was the best Deuces Wild game I ever saw in my life. And if I found that now, I would sit there and absolutely destroy that game. But I will say, I don't know if this is just a Florida thing or not. Play better slots. But if you're ever in a casino and they have Dream Card, check the pay table on the Deuces Wild bonus. For some reason, every casino I have been to that has Dream Card, and now this is in South Florida, it's a small sample size, there's only 2 of them, but there are 2 casinos down here in South Florida that have Dream Card, and those 2 casinos have terrible pay tables on every game, but for some reason the Deuces Wild bonus is 98.5 or 98.7 or something. So for some reason, and that is the full pay version of that game, the pay table does not get higher for that Deuces Wild bonus game. So if you're ever in a casino, I would recommend learning that strategy, because for some reason, if a casino, mind you, it's a very small sample size of 2, but of the 2 casinos I've seen that have the new Dream Card machines and they have Deuces Wild bonus on them, it is a full pay game. So it's called Not So Ugly Deuces, which is, I believe, one step under. There's like a million different. I would say Deuces Wild regular Deuces Wild has the highest number of. Wow. Okay, I've been playing this game real wrong. I've also never played regular Ultimate X on Deuces Wild bonus, only the bonus streak. I'd say there's probably 15 different pay tables for Deuces Wild. By and large, wow, man, these straight flush draws are huge there. Look at that. We got 3 of them, though. So there's like 15 different pay tables for Deuces Wild. The best was always full pay Deuces Wild. And then there was Not So Ugly Deuces, which, so full pay Deuces was like 100.7, I think it was, percent payback if you played it perfectly. The Not So Ugly Deuces was like 99.5. And then there was another one below Not So Ugly Deuces. And then there was Illinois Deuces below that, which was 98.9% with perfect basic strategy. And then there's like, it goes all the way down to like Colorado Deuces. Now, what in the world could we possibly hold here? I think it's just the deuces. I don't think you go for a flush here. Yeah. How did I play that hand wrong before? And if you've heard Las Vegas Airport Deuces, that's the same as Illinois Deuces. What do we have here possible? That, right? Yeah, okay. You'd have to look. So I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot remember any of the pay tables for Deuces Wild without looking them up, with the exception of Illinois Deuces Wild is the only one that I know. But for instance, I can, if I go to edit game setting, oh, you're not going to be able to see it. It doesn't show the drop-down menus on the stream. But it's like, so, well, let's see. I'll get to a regular Deuces Wild game here. Deuces Wild. So they have 4 different options. You can't see this drop-down menu for some reason on the screen. But the 4 different paybacks for Deuces Wild on Ultimate X is 99.4, 98.2, 97.2, and 96.5. So this game that I'm going into, this is the Illinois Deuces pay table. So I remember it. It's 1 for a single coin. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 9, 15, 25. It's, you pretty much have to know. I think it's every single. It's from the 2 all the way up to the 25 change from one Deuces Wild game to another. So they are incredibly hard to memorize. I just know this one. I know this is the best game that they have ever had in South Florida for a Deuces Wild game, so I know to look for it in South Florida, so I memorized it. So anyways, so, well, we're at almost an hour here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this now. I'm starting to get sweaty underneath these lights, but thank you all for joining. And I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing. I don't know how long it's going to take me to make it a weekly thing, but I'm sure going to try. So I will try again next week. I don't know. I can't make any promises, but my goal is by December to have this every week, because the those live streams are The Monday night live streams are getting very, very expensive. It's really hard to go for an hour with only $1,000, and I hate losing $1,000 in an hour. And come December, I am going to be very, very busy for some personal reasons, so I will be making a lot less trips to the casino. So thanks for coming, everybody, and take it easy. And thank you again, Play Better Slots, for that $20 super chat. That was incredibly generous of you. And everybody have a nice night, and go